Well, this is actually, in fact, take 3. I keep messing everything up, so that's fun. In this video, before we get started, I want to let you know, just to mix it up, I've hidden an Easter egg or two somewhere in this video, so you have that to look forward to, if you can find it. Today's focus is on indirect object pronouns. An indirect object pronoun is what receives the direct object in a sentence. So if we have this sentence here, he throws the ball to Sarah. He would be the subject doing the action. Throws is the action, so the verb. What does he throw? He throws the ball. So the ball, like we talked about in our last lesson about direct object pronouns, is the direct object. So the ball receives the action. And then Sarah is receiving the ball. She's receiving the direct object. So that makes Sarah the indirect object. He throws the ball to Sarah. Subject, verb, direct object, indirect object. If we were to replace Sarah with an indirect object pronoun, that sentence would be, he throws the ball to Sarah. If we wanted to, we could also replace our direct object with a direct object pronoun, it. He throws it to Sarah. Subject, verb, DOP, IOP. Indirect object pronoun, direct object pronoun. He throws the ball to Sarah. He throws it to, dang it, I messed it up. I'm not going for take 4, so just bear with me. He throws it to her. He throws it to her. Her would be the indirect object pronoun. If I could easily draw an arrow here, I would, but I don't know how to do that. So, moving on to the Spanish, the important part of today's lesson. How do we say this sentence and this sentence in Spanish? Well, the reality is, in Spanish, the indirect object is actually completely optional, while the indirect object pronoun is not. So we have to, in fact, have the word her, and we don't need the name Sarah. That's not necessary. So, in Spanish, he throws the ball. Just going to copy this real quick, because we've done this before. Él lanza el balón a Sara. This sentence is actually incorrect. We have an indirect object, Sara, without an indirect object pronoun. We can't actually do this and remain grammatically correct. So what we need to do instead is replace Sarah right off the bat with an indirect object pronoun. And you're probably thinking, what is an indirect object pronoun? I'm glad that you were wondering that, because here they are, our IOPs. Again, these are worth writing down in your notes. Me, te, le, nos, and les. And for Javier, we have the os included, but marked out because we don't actually need it. You're welcome, Javier. So, me, te, le, nos, and les. This might look familiar. That's because you already knew indirect object pronouns. Me gusta, te gusta, le gusta. When we used gustar, we were already using IOPs, indirect object pronouns. So you actually should already know what these are. Now you just know what they mean. So these mean that if I use me in a sentence as an indirect object pronoun, that means I'm receiving something from someone or something else. I'm receiving the direct object, not an action. I'm receiving the direct object. So, Sara is singular. So it has to be me, te, or le. It can't be me because I'm not Sara. It can't be te because you're not Sara. It has to be le, third person. Remember with our chart, left side is singular, right side is plural, first, second, third person for the rows. So we're going to replace Sara with le. And we don't actually have to replace Sara. We could include Sara in this sentence, but we have to have le. Él le lanza el balón a Sara. Él le lanza el balón a Sara. We definitely don't need él. It's just annoying to even have it. Le lanza el balón a Sara. Le, again, just like our reflexive pronouns, just like our direct object pronouns, has to come before the conjugated verb. Did you catch it? All right, so if we were to write this sentence even shorter, we could leave Sara out completely. The only reason we would need to put Sara in there is if we don't have a context, if we don't know who we are talking about. But if I already know that we're talking about Sara, I don't need to keep saying her name over and over and over again. Did you give the ball to Sarah? Yes, I gave the ball to Sarah. Did you give the ball to Sarah? Yes, I gave the ball to Sarah. And repeating Sarah and Sarah, Sarah over and over again, it gets really repetitive, so we can just say, did you give the ball to her? Yeah, I gave her the ball. Well, in this case, threw the ball. Le lanza el balón. He throws the ball to her. Again, notice the order does not read left to right like it does in English. Always start with the verb when you're reading a sentence in Spanish. It tells you who's doing the action. It tells us when the action is taking place, the present tense, because that's all you know in Spanish 1. And it's telling us what the action is, in this case, throw. He throws the ball to her. And that is really all there is to indirect object pronouns. The main thing is to just not confuse them with direct object pronouns. Indirect object pronouns are really, really easy because we don't have to worry about gender at all. We just have le and les. It's not like direct object pronouns where we had lo, la, los, and las and had to worry about gender. So IOPs are a lot easier. They do follow all the exact same rules as DOPs and reflexive pronouns. So one more example just to show you. Quiere lanzarle el balón. Why is that misspelled? You don't know Spanish, Google. Get out of here. It fixed it. All right, quiere lanzarle el balón. Another sentence, one more example to end on. Necesitan darte. Better yet, we can use Mia's favorite song here. Oh, how is that? It's darte un beso. Darte un beso. Shout out to Mia. I miss you all. Some of you have specific songs that you've requested over and over again. And Mia's is Darte un beso by Prince Royce. I think that's who it's by. So we see that the te is attached to the infinitive. Darte un beso. Give you a kiss. Darte un beso. So quiero darte un beso. I want to give you a kiss. Necesita would be he needs to give you a kiss. No es necesario darte un beso. It's not necessary to give you a kiss. So the te can come after the infinitive, or if we wanted to, we could. Wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not redoing this whole video because that didn't make any sense. But it's fine. So, no te quiero dar un beso. That makes sense. Alright, sorry that one little clip was nonsense, but just like in class when I mess things up, I'm going to mess stuff up on here too. I don't want to have to redo this entire video. So, if you have any questions, as per usual, just email me or check out the studyspanish.com link and have all your questions answered. Enjoy IOPs!